Hello everyone! Welcome back, but this time to potato recording footage, but high quality potato recording footage, as we talk about our favorite German lady if she was in Smash Bros. Hey, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Give it some green. There we go. Cecilia Immergreen, everybody. Now then, let's take a look and figure out how our favorite... wait a minute. That's only a thing Crony will say. Our favorite automaton, or automation, would fare in these platform fighting games. After all, she has experience herself. No, but seriously, let's get on with it.
What does that mean? What does this imply?
Now, to start off with Cici, as we start with everyone else, we're gonna start with a jab. She's gonna have a rapid 1-2 jab. Because even though Cici looks like, she'll probably break into pieces, look at this.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! I said wake up!
Yeah, she's gonna be breaking you into pieces. So, it would be a jab similar to Villagers. When I realized this was reading off the script. But, yeah, my head was something like Peach and Daisy. But the more I think about it, her having a jab like Villagers just makes a lot of sense. Maybe have it a third hit that goes away, but the more you keep hitting, it's a rapid jab that starts out like a regular jab, just like his. I feel like it would fit Cici's character and give her something quick to work with in a quote-unquote scramble or spaghetti situation. Whichever you want to use, For Cici's forward tilt, let her deliver a hefty, heavy smack. And sorry for yelling there, but I just want to emphasize this move can probably be strong or maybe weak at lower percents and have it like a high knockback growth. Or if anything, let it be one of those forward tilts that's for space. But I mean, look at it. She's gonna smack you hard with it. And we've seen in her hologram that she can, extend the limbs and then retract them with a string. So why not, It gives good range and good control. And as we all know, playing the violin like any instrument requires tons of precision. So, let it be angled for your type of precision. You want it up, you want it middle, or if you want to be evil, we can let this move 2-frame like Sonic F Smash. But honestly, I don't know if I want that because I'm not that evil enough. But Cici sometimes is that evil, so let her have it. But let's go on to Cecilia's next move. And now this one is a little generic, but, sorry for scream, I think it will work perfectly with what Cici likes to do if the conspiracy theory is real that Justice is the evil one and Advent's the good guy. I'm just saying. Don't listen to me. But it's a heel slide. That's it. Look at it right now on the screen. But let it have like the Simon and Richter attribute, where if you press a button, it does another attack. In this case, I was thinking, instead of it doing like that little jump you see the Belmonts do, even though it's kind of described there on the paper, have it be more like an upwards kick like Bayonetta's side B play special, but not in terms like a circle. If anything, let it move more like an up smash from Captain Falcon. But to make it easier, honestly, just do the whole Bayo thing, but a little faster, Maybe for combo setups or something like that. Let both moves have some sort of use, I'd say. But definitely at lower percents, this is like your damage move. Heck, maybe let this move be the jab lock move for Cecilia. For the let her get closer and whatnot. But honestly, you can probably just keep this as a bit of a jab lock or burst option situation. I like the burst option thing better, just to let Cece have some sort of approach. Well, she might have a few more approaches I don't want to spoil, but yeah, at least let her have one or something that's not too good.
What does that mean? What does this imply?
Right, that you think, oh, the other burst options might be better, or but definitely don't let it be a sort of it's better than nothing situation. If not, let it be like the move that beats everything that low profiles type of beat. Because even though CC is an automation and you think they're delicate, CC is probably ruthless as heck, so she ain't gonna let you escape. We can see that in some of the Nets moves that you'll see on your screen. However, y'all saw the down tilt, but now y'all won't be seeing that up tilt because I forgot to draw it. And I don't need a drawing to show this beauty. Aw, yeah, baby, look at that thing. Now, why did I pick this up tilt or type of up tilt for Cecilia? Listen. I know Snake is very flexible, but Cecilia is an automation. What if she just has that mechanism that launch her opponent all the way up in the air with a freaking kick like that, you know? I mean, like, why not? Honestly, I can see Cecilia doing this to Gigi if Gigi ever acts up. So, like, I think this move kind of fits. It gives her good anti-air. I wouldn't say good because it's not that quick, but it has decently high knockback to get them off her. Like a good wall. And she's an automaton, and I figured if anyone's gonna play defensively out of Justice, it's gotta be her. A bit. If you get what I mean.
I cannot, and I won't. I don't think I ever will.
As we move on from tilts and jabs and whatnot, let's go into more fun things like smash attacks. With this one being the violin smash, as it's a bit of a two-hit move as you can see here, starting with the bow part of the violin, and then she ends up hitting you with the instrument part of the violin for a quick-ish kill. I wouldn't say quick-ish if not, you know, maybe she can use the first hit to set up into things, or if she hits you with the bow area and she's like, damn, this won't connect, then she can just cancel it. It's one of those, you have to click the A button or your attack button to do the second part of the attack type of move. I feel like this is a good place to put the violin, but at the same time, I'm not sure if this is appropriate for a violin. Or should I have CC play music? You guys decide. But, hey, I have to fit the violin in there somehow, you know? Because CC was originally envisioned in this whole shtick with the violin on her at all times. But I feel like not locking Cecilia down to just using violin moves is kind of a better touch. Just like we're gonna go into the down smash, and I'm gonna try and convince you why Cecilia having a grounded slam, or call it a ground slam, is a move she would probably do in battle. Like, yeah, Cecilia is an automation, she probably doesn't have much weight, but considering how Justice operates, this would be a nice move to control area with, like if, oh, they're running towards you, oop, jump up, slam down. But, you know, just that. No early kills with it, or haha, got you moments. If not a, like, oh, where do you think you're going? Get out of here moment type of beat. Which up smash has the complete opposite effect, as in, she has her hands in the air. It's a CC party, and you know it. As for Cecilia's up smash, it extends her arms up, as seen in the description and in the picture. And I wanted to have a bit of a gimmick that the longer it's charged, the more range it gets. You know, similar to Mega Man's forward smash, but for the up smash. Like, uncharged, real quick, ooh, it's like a decent anti-air get off me. Ooh, you read the opponent's tech chase on battlefield and you charge that up smash, ooh, now they dead.
Oh, such is fate of anything, everything.
You know, something like that, I think, would fit Cece really well as we go on to the grabs.
It's okay to be wrong. I'll make them understand. It's okay to be wrong. They'll understand with time. I just have to get out my PowerPoint and give them like a really nice presentation and explain my reasoning, and they'll be like, oh, that makes sense.
However, I don't have a PowerPoint, just crudely written things on a notebook. When it comes to Cece and her grabs, there's only one route for all of this, and it's making her share a similar animation to Min Min, as in extending the arms, whether it be regular grab or dash grab, you know, that sort of thing. If she can extend the limbs, let her extend the range for the grab. It's just a natural thing. But the interesting part here is gonna be the grab animations, as I want them to be a bit more forceful in some areas compared to the more graceful things she has going on in some other areas. Like her forward throw just being Fox's forward throw. Come on. Let her hit you in the face really hard. But it's not gonna do a lot of damage. She's still in animation. And then for the down throw, let her use the heels or something with the violin for that. Or if you want to be fancy, let her have the Mario up throw or the Luigi up throw. Nah, just Mario's. Because, you know, she doesn't have the Poltergust 3000. But if she did, then we go for Luigi up throw. And as for the back throw, yeah, look at that throw. Like, just look at me into my non-existent eyes and tell me Cecilia would not be doing something like that.
What does that mean? What does this imply?
She won. She won. We don't have proof that Justice is the completely good guys. Who knows?
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! I said wake up!
And before we move on to the other moves I have planned for Cecilia, there are some alternatives I would like to cover using her lance, which I have failed to acknowledge in the first part of this video, just because it was more so a, oh, I forgot the lance part. The first of these would be an alternate move to the side tilt. What I had in mind was honestly just Ridley's, just angling up, down, or neutral. You could also make this a bi-lift type of move with the F smash, making it the new F smash, but honestly that's all I've had in mind for the lances, because then it would just be like an arc or something, and then Cece would go more into the swordy-ish role. I think I'm not too creative enough for lances for this. So, this one, along with up smash, which is just a pointy stick upwards, will just have to be wait until you're more creative to come up with better lance moves type of situation. With the Cecilia up smash in this one, the alternate one, being just like Marth's up smash, and where, you know, there's a sour spot that leads to the blade part of the move. If anything, I think the better choice could also be make it like Simon and Richter in Hero, where there isn't much on the side, if not that you want the focus to be on the weapon itself and not anywhere else. And to continue this trend, the alternative down tilt is more of a sweeping move. I'm not sure how this would work with a lance, but we've seen many swordy sweeping down tilts, so I don't think this needs like a visionary. And neither does the up air in this one, as it has like a similar look to the Mii Sword Fighter, but I want it to function hitbox wise as Villager's up tilt or Ryu up air in that sort of sense, where it's just two hits, one needing to connect to hit the other. Well, I guess now we can go on to the aerials now. And now these, I would say have ults too, but it's more so in the fact of, oh, this can easily be her lance as well.
If we make it through this, but Miss Wheeler.
Let's start with the one aerial that doesn't have a visionary, this being Cecilia's neutral air. In my notes I have it to be just like Dr. Mario's, but another way I am swinging towards is giving her essentially Palutena's neutral air or Mithra's neutral air that have her lance spinning in a circle. Just a bit of a setup or combo move I feel Cece would have. Like from going from up tilt to neutral air. That sounds like a good damage dealer right there, if I may say so myself. As for CC almost having Dr. Mario's neutral air, that's because I feel it's a CC thing to do. Just don't let Gigi know. And in my notes, you will also see here that I've written down the neutral air to be a good edge guarding tool as well. And the reason I felt to mention this now here is because the more I look at the drawings I've made, I feel like the next move we're going to talk about, forward air, can be like a nice combination of it, as if you do nair to the forward air, emphasizing nair being a more weak move if you go with the Palutena Mithra route, or if you just hit the beginning of it if you were going the Dr. Mario route. With an animation, I'd be thinking similar to Robin's forward air. In the doodle, it has the little violin string thing. I forgot the name for it. But if you're going with the lance, this can also be replicated with the lance, either same animation or more of a stabby move. Speaking of stabby, the back air is just like that, a stabby move. And in this one, it could either be the violin or viola, or the lance itself, with the sweet spot obviously being at the tip in this situation instead of the base compared to Shulk's. And this one makes CC plenty of terrifying, just imagine Corrin, but with not so safe of a back air. But this back air would definitely kill. And let's face it, Cecilia's probably the best in Justice at killing. Now to go to the up and down aerials, we're gonna start with the up air. I mentioned before of an alternative take for up air because I think this one is just not that special. I leaned into the more automaton mechanics of CC as if she were able to spin her hands around. And that's just what this aerial does. She's just spinning her hands up, basically another multi-hit move with a finisher. I do prefer the alt version of this, but if she's not going to be using her spear, I think this would be a nice sufficient pick. And as for the downward aerial, I'm going to go really, really generic, give her a dive kick. That's it, give her a dive kick. She would definitely do a dive kick. Gigi would also have a dive kick too if we ever get to her. And I think this also suits CC personality-wise, but not moveset-wise. If you want to go moveset-wise, another thing I could see is let her have a flutter like Yoshi, and have her little key spin furiously as she does so. Or if you want to use the lance, just have it be like a huge sweeping hurtbots. But I think that would be kind of busted, so I decided against it. This would leave CC with a bunch of aerials to control space, and then having the down aerial, at least with the current dive kick version, being a, oh, I'm no longer controlling the air, let me see if there's a way for me to get out type of move. And I think that perfectly suits her with the tilts and regular text that she has on right now. Now let's go to the specials and see what we're working with. Or, instead of C, we can CC, haha.
Why? Oh, why? But why? But why? But why? Is it just... but why?
Now to start off simple with Cecilia Immergreen's neutral specials, we're gonna start with one that literally comes out of her Holograph 3D debut. Yes, the condiment shot. And in here, I have certain effects to different condiments. Ketchup doing nothing, just it be neutral. Mustard dealing poison damage. Hot sauce having a fire effect, if you count that as a condiment that you can easily get in places. And mayonnaise to slow down opponents. Now there's one big problem with this.
This could either be cycled, which I get, or random. I believe it should be cycled as, she's a machine, she would probably be cycling that. But I have another thing in mind, and it's a neutral special that is like Marth's custom neutral special in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, where instead of breaking the shield, it would just do a bit of shield damage and then just go forward, as if you did it in the air, but you actually just are able to go forward in the ground as well. This would be with her lance, but if you want to give Cecilia some sort of projectile-ish move, I think the condiment one would go a lot better, and knowing Cecilia's silly nature, this not only fits more in character, but feels a bit more diverse, as it can slow down opponents or just give them some sort of effect as if they were Pikmin. And when we go to Cecilia's side special, I also faced a similar problem in deciding what to do with her, because her first side special I envisioned had her throwing the automatos towards the opponent with a little bit of a wind-up charge to make use of the little wind-up key they got in their heads already. Just going in for a small attack or distraction. But the other one, which I think is a lot more unique, is a violin playing move. And just like I mentioned before with the condiments, the attack would be cycled out through, not random, even though the condiment, I did mention there would be a random option. For the violin, it would be more so like she plays a high note, a normal note, or a low note, and this would send at various angles. For setups, combos, just that sort of beat. Heck, you could probably use this move to come into the neutral special of the one where Cecilia thrusts forward, if you're at a good catch. This is just a bit of a thing. I feel like this move works if you don't use Condiment Cecilia, because if you have Cecilia using her condiments as a little bit of a silly thing, then I feel the Automato should be the side special. If you decide to go with neutral special CC of thrusting forward with the lance, then I feel the side special should be the violin one. It's one of those, it's just gonna be kind of redundant to have them both, but I do feel that neutral special with the Automatos side special, I meant the Dashi neutral special, would work perfectly together, I think, because you could have the Automatos grab the opponent and then have Cecilia thrust forward with the neutral special. But if you want to have the violin or the condiment, I honestly don't see much need to have them both together, because then it just makes CC a bit too more of a, you gotta handle your cycles type of character like Pikmin, and I don't think Cecilia Immergreen would necessarily play like that. If anything were to play like that, it would have to be Coyote if she ever gets into the series. But now it's time to go into some special moves that won't be as complicated to explain, I guess. With her down special. Now, why is she spinning? Cause Spina Twina! And I could not find the clip. If I do find the clip while editing, then edit it in and leave this audio in just in case. But this is essentially like a lariat, like Incineroars, basically. If anything, something that you can do is keep the Automato side special and delegate the violin to be in the down special, and the neutral special just be either the condiments or the thrust forward so she can use her lance. I don't want to give Cece a counter, even though she has a bit of a weapon, because I just feel it wouldn't fit. But that's also an option, but I'm not going to give a visual for it because it's just a counter. But I do feel that Spina Tuwina has to be in there somehow. This could either be a twump or a special, so my guess is that if she's Spina Tuwina to win, ¿verdad? Then why not go for the down special option, These specials will help CC more control the space to align with some of her more grounded moves, and maybe a bit on the aerial side too, in terms of the setups that she can do with them, whether poisoning the opponent or setting them up in a nice angle. Basically, Cecilia has been forming up to be a character of, let me get you in a certain position, or just keep you out if I'm not able to get you in that certain position I want, you know? Which is why her up special is going to feel a bit generic, as she's just holding onto some atoms to go upward. But however, she can also do the Iron Man thing as seen in the hologram. And when I mean the Iron Man thing, just using some sort of jet propulsion or whatnot, not exactly the one we saw in the hologram with the big spider-like legs. I mean just using jetpack things out of her arms or legs, and have it like a controllable recovery like the Me Gunner. Not the one where they shoot something and it explodes and it's just like almost a straight line. I mean the one where you can do curls with it. And without further ado, I say this net special deserves its own little section, shouldn't it?
I'm sure it's gonna be just fine.
For Cecilia's final smash, I have a serious answer with a not so serious visualization, this using Donkey Kong's Conga Beat from Smash 4 and Brawl, to visualize the fact that Cecilia's final smash could be her playing the violin to whoosh the opponents off the stage, or, if you want to get into the more aggressive winner side of Cecilia, the car from the karaoke sessions. I'm being real. Have the car as a final smash. Think about it. She could run over opponents. And just like that laugh, she can unleash her inner evil. Or her inner evil.
If I was evil, could I do this? Checkmate, evil believers.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way, but no, Cecilia proved she's not evil. Let's just go to the skins. The first three are obvious, this being Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, Gigi Mooring, and Raura Pantera. And to cover the rest of the 4 slots, these will be based on the guest from Cecilia's 3D debut, these being Tokino Sora, Koseki Bijo, or Bibu if you prefer that name, and Ichijo Ririka. I feel these kind of cover over some of the color spectrum, and I think it's a nice wide range of costumes or skins you would like to give Cecilia. And you may have noticed there's still one missing. That's because I don't know which one to decide. I'm leaning more towards Kanade, being the last one to give a nice yellow color, but you could argue the orange from Gigi covers that, but if that's the case, then Ririka should be removed because of the pink as well. Or, you could make the argument to give a blue skin based on Overcrony and Erisa Ravencroft. These two have similar colors in black, blue, and white, so one skin can cover both if you like to do that. But if you want to get a bit more loose in the number of skins Cecilia Immergreen can have, then yeah, I'd say go with all of these if you want. But if we're gonna limit it to 8, then I'd say the 3 Justice ones, then Sora, Bibu, Ririka, and Kanade.
Yeah, this could have been an email.
You have now reached the end of the video, congratulations, but there's still more to be said. For Cecilia's victory screens and taunts, I'd say let that be decided by Cecilia Immergreen herself, or let there be more material just in case. As if she's still an active member of Hololive, the taunts and the victory screens could be different. Although Spin to Win has to be in either taunts or the victory screen. Or maybe a violin for the victory screen and Spin to Win as the taunt. And I think that would be all to conclude Cecilia Immergreen's discussion on how she would play in Super Smash Bros. Or any other platform fighter of the like. A more so type of aggressive space control type of character. Not too much of a zoner, but more so that you really want the neutral space as much as possible, or center stage. And if you are still watching this, thank you very much. And let me know down below who else you would like to see. I'm leaning more towards Gigi Mooting, but part of me says I should try and do another gen, probably Koseki Bijo, because she just had a new outfit at the time of this recording. But, I'll let you guys decide. And once again, thank you all for watching, and have a great day.